again. 20 minutes late. Not a big deal. It is what it is. I guess I need to do a better job at this. Whatever. All right. I now see Mr. Stan. I'm going to try to bring you in. Ta-da. Let's see if this works. Anyways, this is the Dark Truth Podcast with your boy Shady. About to have Stan and his wife on to talk about their journey in the tint industry. There we go. Perfect. Awesome. Sorry about that. Can you hear me pretty good or no?
What?
Can
No,
you hear me?
I can hear you good.
Okay. You're over here joking with me. Sorry about that. I thought I'd sent y'all the link already. Maybe it was because I had to duplicate the event or whatever technology, you know. But
Yeah.
It's all good.
awesome.
We're pre-internet people.
Right.
We're kind
I
of
hear that.
we're kind of virgins to podcasts, so be easy with
This is
us,
the first
okay?
one? First one ever?
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
no way.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. First time ever. I love it. Well, I appreciate you being on my show for the first one. Very interesting topic for sure. Like I said in the previous live that I actually took the clip down because it was kind of janky. But y'all been in business for a long time. So if you would just introduce yourselves and give us a little background on that, and we'll go from there.
All right. You can hear me, yes?
Correct. I can hear you great.
Stan Foster, my lovely bride of nearly 50 years, Alexia. And I don't know if you can see the Corvette in the back, but it has Alexia, and she always wanted a Corvette and wanted her name up in lights. So I got a
Oh, you can't.
Corvette with her name in lights. But
You can't beat that.
Anyway, we are in Portland, Oregon. Been here 28 years. Been
Jeez.
tinting nearly 45 years. And when I say tinting every day, it's not like, you know, we tinted a car and then 6 months later. We opened our first shop in Tulsa, Oklahoma, actually Muskogee, Oklahoma. But anyway, started out when it was a liquid, and when film came out, we're like, oh, that's great. I wish it had adhesive on it.
Right.
And then out came adhesive, and then later on it came with a liner, which was great. And then when scratch resistant coating came out, we thought we had died and went to heaven.
Right.
Like we didn't have to cut out the sweeps anymore. I mean, physically just cut them out. But
Really? So back then, instead of removing them, y'all would just cut that felt strip out of the doors? And
yeah, we had a 30-gallon bucket full of the strips, and
that's crazy.
customers were a lot easier to please back then. But I mean, you could do a side window in 3 pieces, and people thought that looked good.
Right.
And so there is that. But so we've worked together all these years tinting. And then also back in the early days of late 70s, for early 70s, we actually met in 1963 in a Spanish class in New Mexico.
No way.
Went our separate ways, and then I went to work in 1970 as an underground uranium miner. And that was fun.
Yeah, hold on a second. You used to mine uranium?
4,000 foot underground, yeah.
You would go down that far, or you would just drill that far?
No, I would go down in what they called a man cage, and then
No way, dude.
you ride a train about 10 miles back, and surprisingly, there was a lot of water. New Mexico, but 4,000 foot down, we were below the Dakota aquifer. And so Alexia and I met back up then in New Mexico and eloped to Las Vegas. They said that would never work.
No, yeah,
Uh,
I went to Vegas and got married.
yeah, my
That's
dowry
awesome.
was,
How old are y'all at this point?
I got like 2 quarts of oil as a dowry. And so then there was this 3 Mile Island accident, and we started a high rise window cleaning company. So
Gotcha.
I went from 4,000 foot underground to, 1,000 foot above. And both of those jobs, people just got killed a lot,
Right.
but they paid so much money. Like
Yeah.
back then, a couple of hundred, 300 an hour or four wasn't
Jeez,
unusual. But
that's insane.
she was my rigger on high rise window cleaning. And so what that meant was she would tie all my knots and get everything ready. And I would go over the side of the building and rappel down. And she did it a couple of times, but she was really slow.
It was
Mm-mm.
terrifying.
Yeah, she was.
I know
scared.
there's no, I'm with you. I'm not doing that.
I
No way.
hitched my
Nope.
way down. It
Right.
would just go down.
Nope.
But,
I ain't doing it.
high school education, small kids, they always wanted new shoes and bicycles and stuff. So
Right.
both of those jobs paid really good money. And she did very good rigging. Obviously, never let
He's
me
still
fall.
here.
Right.
Yeah. I was about to say she did a
You
good
have
job
to
then.
really make sure in the morning that you're getting along before you go to that
Oh,
job.
for
Right?
sure. You gotta
Right.
make breakfast that morning, you know?
So when we started tinting windows, we realized it was really good money, and very rarely did people get killed tinting
Right.
windows.
If anything, you help people from dying, you know, because you're blocking UV rays and all that good stuff, you know. So you're doing a service instead of almost doing yourself a disservice, you know.
True story.
Right.
True story. So over the years, a lot of different shops, and here we are. We love it. It's still kind of fun.
Kinda.
I've got a really long list of cars that I tell her us not do those cars,
Right.
and then we always do them anyway.
Because then you lose the list, you know. You look for the list and you're like, oh well, I guess it's not on it since we
Right?
can't find it. So you got to go ahead and do it.
Exactly.
I
And
want to ask a quick question about the I didn't mean to cut you off, but the liquid tinting. Are you talking about for like commercial buildings or cars?
you know, cars and commercial buildings.
No way.
There was a pump set up, and you could pump the liquid, clean the window naturally, and with window cleaning, we got pretty good at that.
Right.
But so you would let the liquid run down, and it would collect on the bottom in a collection tray, and then you recycled it, and you could have a lot of different colors. I mean,
Yeah, and and it would always sheet smoothly, and
Most
you
of
would
the
just
time,
add
yeah.
another layer to make it
Yeah.
darker.
Okay, so it's basically like kind of spray paint in a sense, like you just do a good coat. You do a
It
good
starts
coat
at
and you
the
let it
top and
sit.
runs down.
yeah, it was
But it would
messy.
it wouldn't do like drips, it would do like an even coating or
Well,
Kinda.
It'd be kind of drippy, but when it
Yeah.
all hit the bottom, it
Yeah.
even out.
if
Right,
there
it
was
evens out.
if there was a small nick or a little speck on the glass, the liquid would kind of flow around it,
Right.
flow on, right? But like I said earlier, customers weren't very picky back then.
Very lenient. Because
Yeah.
it was
Right,
brand new, nobody knew really
yeah.
what it was supposed to look
Uh,
like.
Right.
I remember one day she used to cut the strips for me back before heat
For the
shrinking.
rear windows.
Yeah, for rear windows. And so she can probably tell you like different cars, how thick and how many strips, because that's what she did for years.
That's so
But
crazy.
one day we were doing a BMW, and I think we put gray, three piece, gray, and then bronze and gray because
Oh,
we
nice.
were in a hurry. And so we noticed it when we pulled it outside, and the customer actually gave us a tip and said, "Man,
Nice.
I love it. You did a custom job for me." And we go, "Yeah, how you like that?"
Yeah, we did that on purpose, you know.
Yeah, right, right.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta act like it was on purpose, and then they're tickled pink, They just look at you like, "That's really cool. I didn't know people did that like that."
Yeah,
That's awesome.
never let customer know you made a mistake.
Oh, I'll tell them all the time if I mess up. Like, hey,
Yeah, I
I'll be
do
like,
too.
it took me 20 extra minutes because I messed up a door. I had to redo a back
Yeah,
window, or
yeah,
I,
yeah.
you got lucky today. I accidentally cut out ceramic instead of our dyed film, so you get a free upgrade today. We're not going to
That
charge you
happens.
anymore. So,
That happens, right?
yeah,
And
it's happened more
customers,
than I wanted for sure.
uh, customers really like it when I tell if I've got to redo a window, and I tell them if I don't like it, you're not going to like it.
Right.
So if I don't like it, I'm going to redo that window, and they appreciate that.
I agree. And then
Yeah,
also, like, I've broken some things in the past and burnt a few things, and I've had tried to have the solution first and then tell them, like,
right,
hey, I burnt your door
yeah,
panel, but I've got an upholstery guy that said he could do it for this. And
right,
it's only been on one thing. It was like what was it, like a '09 Acura or something. So he was super cool. He's like, it's an older vehicle. I'm not worried about it. And while you're at it, see if he can quote me on my seat because he had a rip in his seat. So he ended up getting his seat repaired and a free door panel fixed.
right.
I've broken several mirrors backing out of bays, like $500 tow mirrors on Rams, which is the worst.
Yeah,
But, the ones that, like, auto flip and they got the thing and it's like, okay, there's too much stuff on this thing.
yeah.
But always being upfront instead of trying to hide it from customers, I feel has always been the best because I've actually worked for somebody before that would rather hide it from them instead of tell them about it and just try to fix it, which I'm not a fan of, but
Yeah, break-in stuff always kind of takes the fun out of tinting,
for sure,
right? And
it's never fun.
no, and so we two-stage everything. Uh, there for a while, we did bottom loading, and first of all, I'm 72, and
Yeah,
my
the risks.
fingers, yeah, it's not good. So over the years, I've got real good at two-step or two-stage,
Yeah,
and it's
that's
just,
that's how I learned. So
yeah, it's hard to break it when you don't take it apart.
that's
Although,
very
don't
true.
get me wrong, people that take them apart and bottom load, good deal. Now,
Right.
I have noticed that on there's a couple of groups bottom loading, and so I'll watch the video, and they're like, "Oh yeah, here's it comes. There's a screw, and it's." I personally think these guys making the videos, I think they take it apart first, and then put it back together, and then shoot the video to show us. Because I'll watch the video and I'll go, "Man,
It's too
that's
seamless.
easy."
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
it's not.
Yeah. I completely agree. People that make content, so I do a lot of stuff live on TikTok. I do complete installs, everything, pop panels on live, and sometimes I won't even know how to take apart a door panel or just roll it back, and I'll have to go run to my computer, Google it, find the
Yeah,
video, go back over, and I'll be like, oh, that was easy to find. And then I start doing it, and I'm like, well, he didn't say there's a clip right here that's going to slip out of the panel that I got
right.
to pop back out, put it back in the door panel.
Sure.
Just they didn't say that you had to do this or do that. But it's always that research factor first for sure because they're not just doing it for the first time, like you said. There's no
Right,
way. And I mean,
right,
if they are doing a video, they've done it before, same kind of vehicle, whatever. I haven't broken any panels, but I have snapped a couple clips, but I have replacement clips.
right.
Um, I have met messed up one seal trying to take it out because it was like I want to say it was like a 17 a cord or something. And I went to go pop it out and it ripped in half, like long ways. Like it
Yeah.
just went, I
Yeah.
was like, oh, great. I showed the customer and I was like, hey, I could either buy you a new one or, whatever. And they're like, just put it back in there. It's
Yeah.
an old car anyway. It doesn't matter. And I'm like, all right,
Right.
fine. Like, no big deal. I was like, you're never going to notice it. Like, it's not going to flap around and make noise. It's popped in with the door panel. So, um, but yeah, I actually just learned to bottom load, what was it, 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago, and it has literally changed so much stuff. Like it's made it a lot easier. I love two staging still. I call myself a hybrid loader because whatever the vehicle is, if it's easier to two stage, I'm two staging it. If it's easier
Yeah.
to bottom load, I'm gonna bottom load it
Right.
because going through the hassle of popping a whole door panel off, I'm not doing it. I'm two staging it. If the
Right.
top rolls back, or you take one screw out, I'll do it that way, um, but we have to take all these screws and the whole panel off and stuff. I'm just like, it's too much risk for me.
Right.
But
Right.
um, so I do firmly believe in two staging and bottom loading, but mainly two staging because I haven't done bottom loading as long. I learned from a guy who'd been tinting for 30 years, and he would hang one window, go to the next one, hang that window, hang the next one, hang the other one, then go back and tuck everything because
Right.
he was using Johnson and it didn't tack off very easily or quickly. So like we had to wait to come back because it would start to cure, but that would cause me some issues. So I started
Right.
just tucking each door. But I agree. Like if you can two stage, you don't want to take anything apart, just don't do it. Like whatever gets you the best results and makes your customer happy, keeps you not in the risk of messing something up, just do it that way.
Yeah.
Everybody's so like, it's got to be one way or the other. It's black or white. And it's like, no, it's not, man. You can do, there's not just a 5% and a 70% film. Like there's different shades, man. You can do it any different way.
Right.
Like you could do it, you could reverse roll it upside down, and if it goes on good and it looks good, who cares?
Yeah.
Like it's how
You
you
know,
do it.
the best way to tint a window is the way that works best for
Yep,
you because we're all different. Uh, Alexa and I we've been teaching people how to tint for
that's awesome.
probably 18, 19 years. And we've been lucky to have worked in 18 countries now.
That's so
It,
awesome.
it is, it's awesome. It takes us all over the world. And we see how in different parts of the world people are doing the same job.
Right.
A lot of countries in Europe, people they take the window completely out.
Yep, I've seen that.
I've got a friend in Croatia, and they just take their windows out that morning and tint them, go to lunch, and come back and put the windows back in. And here in the United States, customers would probably have a cow
Oh yeah, oh my
if they
God.
saw us, but in Europe, they're like, yeah, okay, no problem.
Yep,
And it works good too. I mean, and I've got a friend in Romania. He said, Stan, we go to lunch, but first watch me tint this BMW. And he took the glass out, he tinted it, put it back in, and he actually did it probably faster than I could have did it. And it looked
no
really
way.
good, probably looked better than my work. So
No way. But with taking them out and putting them back in, he did it faster than you
It's
could
all
tint a car.
what you get used
yeah,
to doing.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
That's the
I
only
guess,
way that they know. So
right.
it's not really good about it. But they sure did like learning
yeah,
what Stan had to show
yeah.
them
That's
I bet they
without tape.
were blown away. They're like, you could do it with it in the car? That's crazy.
right,
Like,
right. I mean, I would be signing autographs, and because they were just amazed.
it's so
And
cool.
then we would fly back to the U.S. and the next day I'd be cleaning the toilet, and I'd think, "Wow, man, I signing autographs yesterday, and today I'm cleaning toilets."
Heck
But
yeah, dude.
so I stick to the story of the right way to tint is what works best for each individual.
I
And
agree.
you're right. Everybody, I mean, kind of, they're kind of, they're
They just
limiting
want
themselves
to
by saying,
argue.
if you don't do it this way, you're doing it wrong.
Yep.
And I'm just going to say right now, I use a plotter. I mean,
Oh no, watch out.
dude, I know I'm going to get hate mail. We used to get hate mail and hate phone calls
No way.
when we were started teaching people how to tint,
Oh my
because man,
gosh.
it made people mad.
Why are
And
you're saturating the market? You're gonna
yeah,
teach these people to come in and undercut everybody. It's
right.
the same story for everything, man. It's the
And,
same over the years. It's never changed
no,
ever. It's so
no.
terrible.
And I see it now with plotters. I mean,
Ugh.
the program that I use, the patterns fit really good.
What
And
program do you use?
I use computer cut with Solar
Nice.
Guard. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And yeah, I can hand cut real good, but I get tired of walking around the car.
I hear
And,
that.
you
I hear
know,
that.
so
I mean, you've done it over 40 years, so I mean, I'm sure that you're getting tired of hand cutting. I bet those fingers don't grip it as well either, huh?
you know what? And when you drop a tool,
Oh,
the floor gets really far away the older you get. And, so anymore, like if I drop a hard card and it's only a couple of dollars, sometimes
pull a new one out.
I'll just pull another one out. And go, I didn't want that one anyway, right?
That one's a day old, you know.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
look, just kick it under the car and be like, I don't know where it went. I just have to go grab another one.
right. And she does the plotter, and she preps for me a lot of times, and working together this long, we pretty well know what the other one is going to want next.
I try
Yeah,
to stay a step ahead
Yeah.
of him.
have
Yeah.
to.
The more I can stay ahead of
Yeah.
him, and he can just keep on working without having
Yeah.
to stop.
Yeah.
Now,
I've been
up until
that
7 years
person
ago,
before.
he hand cut everything.
Right.
Right.
And then, we are getting older.
No.
And it is so nice to have that computer cut.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
now I have to admit, when we first got the computer cut many years ago, they were brand
No,
new.
like 20 something.
Yeah,
Y'all got
20 something.
a plotter 20 years ago?
And
Yeah, we were some of the first customers
That's
with
awesome.
Gary at Computer Cut.
That's so
and
cool.
The patterns honestly didn't fit real well, and it was kind of frustrating. And because you'd have to go ahead and trim and stuff, so I
Right.
sold against them.
Yeah.
And and did real well selling against them until I discovered the benefits of
Right.
having. Number one, you can do it a lot faster, and number two, when you get older, you're gonna like that computer
Yeah.
cut.
People that don't
Because
like
it cuts
Computer
your
Cut,
time down
just wait.
tremendously.
When you get old, you'll go, yeah, I really like a plotter.
Yeah. See, I actually, when I first started, I didn't even learn. I did what Alexa does. I was a prep guy. I literally would, because the guy I worked for, he would double cut everything, hand cut. So we had 20-inch rolls on the peel board, and I would pull one down, cut it, put it on there, pull the next one, flip it, cut it, put it on there, squeegee it down, put it on the window for him, front and back, lay the back glass film on the back glass for him. And I was the same way. I would be a step ahead of him because I would have all that ready. And when he was done cutting, he would move it. He would like move to the next door. I'd grab that, throw it on the peel board for him so he could trim it out. And then after I moved the next one, I'd go in there, prep the windows for him, get them all ready, and then take the film, put it on the windows, get them ready for him to shrink, all that stuff. So he would literally just be able to seamlessly walk around the vehicle and tint it probably in 30 minutes, 40
Right.
minutes.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I was like, this is pretty easy. Like I'd like to learn. And then I ended up learning on a plotter, and he had never had one. This is when we were with Lumar, and David Mussett, I'm sure you know him. He was our rep at the time. He came in, set up our plotter and everything, taught me how to use it. But I did not like their program back then. I think it was, I want to say it was computer. It was like, I can't even remember anymore. But I didn't like it. The patterns, they were wavy at the top and they just
Yeah,
didn't fit right
yeah,
and all this. And he would never teach me how to shave windows or nothing. So I would just like tell him about it. And he'd have to bump it up, shave it. It just wasn't very effective in the beginning.
right,
Uh,
right.
and then that took the aspect of like everything being seamless out of it because we had like I could read his mind. Like I'd know what he was doing next. I know where he's going. I'll get the heat gun when he needs it before he needs it, put it on the ground, heat it up. And then he would just have to, walk to it, grab it, get going, cut it. It's just it's really good when you have a
Yep.
person like that for sure. Like you can't put a price on it. Like that's valuable. Like it really is. Like when you can just it just flows. It's great. But working by yourself with nobody doing that, it's kind of frustrating.
Yeah,
But once you find somebody like that to work for you, that's always a plus. I've always,
Yep.
I always took pride in it because I was like, dude, I'm making us like quickly get done with these vehicles instead of it taking
right.
forever. Because if like once I started tinting windows, I felt like it took forever because I had nobody doing those things for me.
Right.
I was like, man, this is taking me so long. Why is it taking so long? And then I'm like, oh yeah, I don't have a prep person. I
Yeah,
don't have
yeah,
anybody that's helping me. So I learned to get pretty quick two staging by myself because of that. I had my own little process, and once I left that shop, I completely changed how I did anything. Like I don't even do it close to how I used to. Like I literally completely changed because it wasn't working for me where I'm at now because it was just slow in a sense. But yeah, having when you have somebody that you worked with, especially your significant other, your wife or whatever, for a long period of time, that whole knowing what the next person the other person's going to do ahead of time is so crucial because then you don't have to worry about it. You already know she's got it handled. It's the
right,
same as her like tying off your ropes, like it's the
right,
same
right.
thing. She's getting you ready to perform efficiently. um and do you tint as well, or is it just you stand at tints?
I can apply it and I can heat shrink the easier ones.
Right.
But you know what? I have my skill set. And my skill
I was about to
set,
ask
I
that.
still have to answer the phone. I still have to book appointments. I still have to pay the bills. I
Right.
still have to do all of this other stuff. He tints the actual windows. So I just got good at what I do, and I'm really
Yep.
good at what I do. And I can work, and I've worked with a lot of the employees I have hired in the past. When he's
Yeah,
gone
yeah,
and stuff, I will work with them because let's face it, there's only certain steps you're going to do
Right.
because you're tinting this window. There's not just a plethora of ways to do it. There are
Right.
several, but basically it's the same. You got to get the window clean.
she's a good
tint's
window
got to
tinter.
get
She's
cut.
underselling herself.
I bet
So
she
it,
is.
it works out well.
Yeah,
You know, I
but
do what
now
I do best.
in
Right. I
like
hear that.
1986, I had a heart attack one day, and
Oh
just like
no.
out of the blue. And so I get out of the hospital, and she literally duct taped me into a chair, an
No.
office chair, and
Y'all
would
got a picture
roll
of this? I
me.
got to see a picture.
She would roll me from one window to the next.
Because see, back then we were cutting them all, and
Gotcha.
I did not know how to cut. I could
Oh,
do
okay.
everything else, but I couldn't cut.
Yeah,
And
it
Gotcha.
was
so
like
I
I felt
did.
like
I
the
just
pinball wizard or something.
up there, tied him to it,
Yeah,
and he would.
yeah.
All he needed to use was his
I'm about
hands,
to say,
Right,
just needs
and
little T-Rex
I
arms,
didn't apply it.
That's
right.
All he
so
did was
funny.
cut it out for me. I did everything else,
I
but I
did.
didn't know
I
how.
just did the hard part.
Right, you did the hard part.
So, but benefits of us working together, and obviously, probably wouldn't work for everybody, right?
Right.
But I mean, when the kids were little, we could go to work and we could visit and talk and do our adult time together, and then home and
It was all kids.
yeah, kids, homework, soccer
You get to
games.
spend time together away from the
Yeah.
kids. Yeah,
And
it's always
then
good.
usually after they went to bed, we'd go back to work and tint a couple more cars till 2 in the morning and then rinse and repeat just over and over and over. But we enjoy spending time together. And so for us, it's been a dream for all these years to be able to spend our days together. And
Right.
then, at the end of the day, you don't have to split the money up. You just give it all to her.
Oh, yep, that's right.
Yeah.
Give her the
Simple.
here's the back in the day. Here's the checkbook.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here's the checkbook. Now here's the debit card.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't really know how you got the job of taking the money.
Maybe
Well,
it's
that
because
sounds like
you.
working in the office part.
She won't tell me how to use the credit card machine.
There we go. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm like, write it down. Yeah, sure.
Right.
No, she takes care of me.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that.
She'll give me a tip every once in a while.
Right.
Take me to a casino, push
Right.
me up to a machine or something.
With the duct tape on still or no?
Yeah, right. So
Here, just hit this button.
right. So yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, probably not for everybody, but you've really got to get along good, obviously.
Yeah, we have our moments.
Yeah,
Of course.
I mean,
Throughout the
yeah,
year.
I remember
bet.
doing
I'm a slammer.
yeah, I remember back doing a 80 something Thunderbird that window at the back window at the bottom would kind of flip
Yeah.
and the film never sticks.
Yeah, fans out.
Yeah, and evidently I said the wrong thing.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, I probably did, yeah. And she's like, I'm leaving. And she slammed the door so hard, leaving the shop, it fell off of the hinges.
Holy
and
cow.
Fell flat to the floor of the shop. And about that time, a customer came in and he said,
Oh, no.
He said, is everything okay? And I said, yeah, just step around the door. And he said, well, should you go get her? And I said, nah, she'll be back. Her purse is over there. Oh, and you came back,
And I
right?
came back.
Yeah, you didn't make it far without your purse.
They always come back, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I love that.
So,
I do want to ask you about your time in Arkansas. We don't have a whole bunch of time because I got behind.
I was born and
But,
raised in Arkansas.
yeah.
You were born in where?
Arkansas, but I was born in Arkansas.
Right around your stomping
In
grounds.
Russellville.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I went to
I
Arkansas
have
Tech for a
lot of
year.
family there.
Awesome. That's crazy. I love that.
And we tinted windows in Siloam Springs,
Springdale.
Oh,
Boy, they
yeah.
had good chicken.
Northwest.
Springdale, man. Arkansas quality chicken, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we love Arkansas. We actually owned a chicken farm for a while. And
I think you told me that.
I'm going to tell you, don't ever do it.
Just say
It
no.
stinks so bad.
Just say no.
It smells so bad.
Yeah. We had
I drive by them.
15,000 chickens.
Nope.
At a time.
That's a bunch of shit. No way. I'm not.
The
No way,
stories
dude.
I could tell on chicken shit.
Right.
Yeah.
I bet.
They all
bet.
stink.
I bet they do. I couldn't do it. I did have another question. I can't remember what the hell it was. What made y'all want to go to Oregon?
That's a good question because we sell sun control film and it's cold and it rains all the time. Anybody watching, don't come. You wouldn't like it here.
I
No,
wouldn't, I
just
bet.
joking. Come on up, okay? Just don't stay. But we we got enough window tinters. But our son in '93 had a really rare brain tumor, and we went broke, literally going from New York to California to MD Anderson, Texas, St. Jude's, Mayo. We went everywhere, but we ended up taking him to University of California, San Francisco, and he lost his pituitary gland, which
Oh, wow.
sits right here.
Yeah.
And as a result, he couldn't sweat. And so here we are in Oklahoma, right there on the border, okay, Oklahoma, Arkansas, and it gets
Oh,
hot.
it's so humid. It's
Yeah.
terrible. Even
And
today, it's still humid and hot. Like, I don't get
right,
it, but
I've
whatever.
got toe warmers on right now.
Oh my God.
Dude, it's not warm. But so we had to find somewhere that had good doctors, uh, cool weather, and good public transportation because he was also blind from the surgery. And so that's how we ended up in Oregon. And we
I love that.
love it here.
When we
Right.
first moved here, we didn't dream that we would be doing window tinting.
I-
We would do that here.
We sold our
But it was
business in
best
Oklahoma.
What was the first idea for work whenever y'all went there?
I wanted to sell real estate.
Oh, yeah. It's a
Yeah.
good way to make money.
Because real estate, they talk about making a lump sum of money. And that just sounds good.
It does.
I made a
Doesn't it?
deal and I got a lump sum. But then you realize that you got to eat. So,
Yeah.
And
We
between those lump sums,
yeah.
you still got to eat.
Yeah. And
Right.
when you're new at real estate, those lump sums are far and sometimes non-existent. But so when we moved here, I tried to get a job. No one would hire me doing, dead end, whatever. And we had sold the business in Oklahoma. And so that money kind of gave us a start.
Right.
And I saw a guy in Washington State, which is, you can throw a rock and hit it. And he wanted to hire a window tinter. Well, we've never worked for someone tinting windows. I haven't had a job since '78. And so we went to the guy and said, hey, we don't want a job, but why don't we pay you for the work? And that worked out real good. It gave us our start. He had a detail shop, so he had a lot of cars and customers, and we worked with him. He bought a new Lexus, and we saved enough money with our part to open up our shop here in Portland, Beaverton area. So
Got you. So you went into business with an existing shop and like just became partners for a little bit and saved some money?
we rented a bay
Oh,
from him.
oh,
He did
gotcha.
detailing.
Yeah, he did detailing, and so we separated.
Oh, okay.
A lot of Viz Queen involved, and so his customers. He had a window tinter that set himself on fire.
What? Wait a minute. Hold on.
Dude,
He set himself on
yes,
fire.
he did.
How?
And
How did he do
in the
this?
process, he set the customer's car on fire.
Oh my God.
So,
what was he doing?
When we said, we'll
Jesus.
just buy the work from you, I think we gave him like 30%,
Yep.
and then we supplied our film. But
I mean, that's a killing for y'all, just saying.
yeah, so back in the day, before probably maybe some of the people watching were born,
Whoa.
the matrix at the top of the window, we would
Yeah.
paint it with semi-flat black Krylon.
Mm-hmm.
And
Nice.
you would tape, boy, you felt good too, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not good for your lungs.
No, it's
Yeah.
not good for you.
So, but you felt good. So you tape everything off and mask everything. And then we did learn to put a exhaust fan
Hold
because
on.
we would get so high we'd forget what we
Dan,
were doing on that
were you
Krylon.
falling asleep in the back seats of cars?
I had an employee do that.
Been there, yeah. We had a
Oh
employee do
my
that.
That's
God.
another
That's another story.
Oh my
That's why we
God,
quit
it's so funny.
painting the dots. Is when he went to sleep, I think he tore up a lot of stuff. But the
Oh my
guy that
God.
set himself on fire, he thought, I'm in a hurry. First of all, never take a heat gun inside a car. Just saying. That's our
Trust me, I know.
rule.
Not anymore.
But
Yeah.
he did. He took the heat gun in and he thought, I'll dry this
Sure.
Krylon faster with some heat.
That's not a good idea.
No,
It's
and so
It's
it
highly
flashed,
flammable, right?
and he thought, oh no, the customer's car's on fire. And he starts trying to put the car.
What an
It
idiot.
wasn't good.
What an
And then he
idiot.
caught on fire.
Grab the
And
spray bottle, dude. What are you thinking?
dude, he
So
went into a
easy.
different line of work.
I bet he did.
So about a year later, a customer comes in, they're in Washington, and he goes, yeah, where's that guy that used to tint windows here? And we go, oh, he started a janitorial service. And he goes, well, I hope he's okay. He set my car on fire last
Oh,
year.
so that customer came back.
Yeah.
That's insane,
And we
dude.
gave him, we did give him a good deal. We felt sorry for him because
I mean,
the owner, the owner of the shop, he wasn't, no, I'm not going to talk bad about people, but he did not pay the guy to fix his car.
oh my
And so
my
we
gosh.
felt that we should help the guy out. And I think we might have tinted it for free. I don't remember.
Right.
Probably 95% of our customers are repeat customers. We don't advertise. We're in we used to do $2-3 million a year in a big shop, 30,000 a month advertising, and there's just so much baggage. But 7 years ago, we decided no mas, we've had enough. And so we opened up this shop, just me and her. If there's a problem, I always know it's my fault. And rarely, she's so
Hold
good.
on.
But
Does she actually take accountability for her mistakes? Because that's awesome. Just
and
saying.
you know what? I still decide what we're going to have for dinner because
That's awesome.
I'm not sure there's a woman alive can tell when you go, what's for dinner?
Okay,
I
Stan,
know
that
tonight
makes so
is
much sense.
pizza.
Dude, okay, so check this out. Every day I will ask my wife around lunchtime, hey, have you thought about dinner? And she'll go, nope. And I'll be like, good thing I took out chicken this morning or whatever. Because I'm over here just thinking, like, I wonder if she took out something for dinner today. And I'm
Right.
not knocking it because I forget all the
No,
time too. I mean,
you know what?
I forget stuff that I'm supposed to remember, like anniversaries, birthdays, stuff like the stuff you're
Okay.
supposed to know. So
Yeah.
like you forget to take out dinner, not a big deal. Not a big deal to me.
You got me thinking August, September. Wait, I'm okay on birthdays. Never mind. I got
Cool.
paranoid there for a minute when you said forgetting birthdays. Whew.
That's awesome. I love
I
it.
want to take a minute to
Yeah.
say hello to Gilbert in New Mexico.
Yeah, I love
Uh,
him. He's my favorite.
if I could pronounce his last name,
It's
I would.
Casada.
Yeah, what you said, right?
Casada.
Right.
Call
And
him quesadilla.
yeah, so I'm hoping to meet Gilbert. We're kind of thinking about moving back to New Mexico one day when
Nice.
we retire. But anyway, I actually am on day 73 of my Spanish lessons.
That's
so
awesome.
that she, by the way, is speaking Hebrew. And so if we get into an argument, I can tell her off in Spanish and she can tell me off back in Hebrew.
And y'all wouldn't know any difference.
No. So then
Yeah,
it's all good, and I
it's all
say,
good.
"What's for dinner?" You know.
But you're trying top favorite people that I've ever met in person from Facebook. I ran across him randomly in a group or something, and I've watched his journey from like where he used to be to now. And dude, he's one of my all-time favorite people. He's super kind. He's always wanting to be the life of the party in a sense. He's trying to crack jokes. He's always rhyming. He's very appreciative of the people that have ever helped him. Like he always tells me, not always, but sometimes he'll tell me like, you know, I appreciate you for helping me out with this charger once upon a time because he was having difficulty, and now he knocks him out like it's nobody's business, and I love it because
He's a good human.
he's a great man. He is
Yeah.
so kind-hearted, and my son loves him. He met him in Amelia Island at Tinner Battles, and they became like
Right.
best friends. And every time we'll just be doing something, and my son will go, "Dad, I miss Gilbert," and I'm like, "I know, right? Me too, dude. Like, we need to give him a call one night, you
Right.
know."
Right. I
He's
saw
just a good man.
I saw Gilbert on Facebooks. I've never met him in person, but I will. But I saw that he had picked a bunch of pinon nuts, and I think he had some for sale. And I'm thinking about maybe getting some pinon nuts. But here's the deal: I think you have to be Spanish to be able to put a pinon in your mouth and do your teeth and your
I
tongue
don't know.
and
I
get the
don't know what
shell
you're
out.
referring to.
I just have to eat shell and all, right? But have you had piñons?
You talking about peanuts?
No,
Uh,
piñon.
Pinon nuts. They're really
Very
I've
small.
never seen it before. I've never
Gilbert,
heard of them.
Gilbert, send him some piñon
I don't
nuts. He
even
needs
know if
some.
he's even in here anymore. He was in here earlier, but I definitely would love to try some
Yeah, they're
because
good.
I've been told that I have a little bit of Spanish in me. Not really, but like a bunch of dudes that, you know, the Hispanic guys from the industry, like Poppy and Marco and El Magic and all those guys. Every time we go to events, we always joke around and mess around, and they're always giving me shit. And
Right?
they'll say something in Spanish. I know like one word, and I'm like, wait a minute, what'd you say? I'm like, you don't say that. You know, like just messing with them. But
If
um,
if you say eso sí que es, SOCKS, right? If you say it fast enough, it sounds like you know how to speak Spanish. SOCKS.
that's so funny.
So that's my favorite Spanish word. We met in 1964 in Spanish
I
class.
remember you saying that. I was gonna ask, you
Yeah.
still taking Spanish to this day?
Well, we didn't learn much then because we were passing notes. That was
Oh, I
before
bet.
cell phones. But no, and we were the only non-Spanish speaker in class. And
Right.
so, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Real quick, did I tell you the story about getting kicked out of a car over Spanish?
Nope.
So I'm working in the mines. It's an
So bueno.
hour out through the desert. And man, in the carpool, everybody was Spanish. I'm the only gringuito around. They're always telling jokes in Spanish and drinking beer because it was in the desert. And so one day I go, hey man, tell the jokes in English. And they're like, oh, you crazy hippie. Because I had like hair, I looked
Yeah.
like a woman. And so, you know, same old thing every day. So one day I took a stick of dynamite
Oh
and
God.
I emptied the dynamite out, took and put mud in it, took a fuse, cut the blasting cap off, and stuck it into the fake dynamite.
Yeah.
And I always have to sit in the middle of this Monte Carlo, and we're going back in town, and it's like SOCKS, and everybody's laughing. Well, I don't understand it, and so I open the lunchbox. I take out the fake stick of dynamite and I light that fuse, probably like 15-second fuse. Dude, you have never seen five Spanish guys
So you got rolling out fast
Monte
as hell.
Carlo and go running into the desert
Oh
any
my,
faster, screaming,
that's hilarious.
"The crazy hippie, he's going to kill us!" And I thought it was funny until no one
Hey,
would get left. They left me. I thought it was funny, and they were gone, and I was still laughing.
listen, they thought the Spanish jokes were funny and you didn't. Now you thought that was funny and they did. Hey, that's called getting even, dude. That's called getting
Yeah,
even.
I got ahead. I didn't get even. I got ahead.
That's so
So
funny.
anyway, good story. There
Man,
was
I could listen to you
finally,
tell stories all day. Like
yeah,
I could tell you're full of wisdom and you have great storytelling. I'm the worst at telling stories. One of these days I'll get it down, but man, I really do appreciate y'all being on. We're gonna wrap it up here in a couple of
yeah,
minutes if y'all want to keep going. Because I know I was a little late and the confusion with I should have
my
shared the
fault.
event with y'all,
Her
stuff
fault.
like that. No, it's not. Um, it's probably my fault. I need to get this set up better, which I will be soon. It's just gonna take a little time. Um, but man, y'all, I've loved talking to y'all because you can just tell that y'all been through a whole bunch of crap, like a whole bunch, and you
A
just have these
whole
great
bunch.
stories and
A whole
all these
bunch.
all these life lessons and the knowledge
Dude,
that I'm sure that you could give everybody. And I love that you especially Stan. I don't see Alexa in very many groups, but I do see you commenting on a lot of stuff and giving your perspective.
she's
And
a
there's a lot of people
talker.
that, yeah, there's a lot of people that look up and respect you in this industry, and I love that.
Oh, I
That's why
hope.
and
I
I'm glad,
try.
and I'm glad that I've got y'all on the show for the first podcast ever. Even
Yeah,
though, I mean, it took what, 40 years in the industry to get on one, which is cool.
45. Count them.
Yeah, and then it took
I feel different after this podcast and I'm satisfied.
Are you
satisfied?
I'm
Hey,
satisfied.
you left us
I
satisfied, my friend.
love it. I love it. I just want to. This show, honestly, is just for people to tell stories and people to learn from them. And,
Yeah,
sometimes there's good stories that teach you something about life that's great. And then there's, some bad ones that also do the same. So, like, learning from our mistakes is
yeah.
one of the biggest things in life. And I can tell that y'all have learned a lot because y'all are still going at it and still successful and working
We're
together for this long.
we're still
And
in
it's
love.
awesome. You still you still got a lot of love to give too, I
Yeah.
can tell.
And
Um,
I won't launch into stories, although man, I can keep you up for days
I
telling
bet.
stories. But anybody watching, new people, old people, been at it, whatever, we have learned a few things over the years, and we realize that just because we do something one way or another, doesn't make us right. But anyone having a problem, feel free to message me because that's one thing that I really love is helping people make a living and support their family tinting windows. And basically
Yep.
we're just gluing plastic on glass, but
Yep.
there's a lot of ways to do it. So anybody watching, feel free to look me up on Facebook, message me, and I'll help you any way I can.
Yeah, 'cause I've got that slogan of mine, be who you needed, and that's
I
exactly
like
what that
that, by the
is.
way.
That's exactly what that is. Like the reason that I try to do this show and I go live on TikTok and I try to help as many people as I can to because I needed the help when I worked for a guy who never would give me the advice and never teach me the things I needed to learn. So I wanted to
Right,
be able to do that for other people whenever, I needed the same thing. And I'm
right,
not the best at getting back to people promptly all the time, but
yeah,
I do try to do my best to help people.
right.
And that's
Good
what
for
that's
you.
what it means is like you wanting to pass down your knowledge with people that need the help because I'm sure you needed a little bit of that advice back in the day,
Yeah,
you know.
still
No
do.
kidding,
So
still do.
I think Rodney King back in the day, the police beat him up like bad. And he said something to the effect of, can't we just all be friends?
yeah,
Doesn't that make
I
sense? Can't we? I
love
mean,
that.
so much division, political. Why can't
See,
we
I'm
just
not a,
all be friends? I don't
yeah,
care who wins. We're screwed either way. But
yeah, I'm not a political person, so
no,
I don't really know all
let's
about that
just all
stuff.
be friends and share.
Right.
Share
I agree.
information. It's
Yeah.
been great.
It's
Thank you
been
so
great,
much.
boss.
So welcome. Thank you. I really appreciate y'all being on. So typically what I do is I ask you for one little final piece of advice, but I think you've already said it. Um, why can't we all just get along, you know? Why
Why
can't we
can't
all
we
just,
all be friends?
that's right. Why can't we all be friends? I love that.
And I'll leave you with some advice that'll start kind of make you think about it.
Love it.
You can
Let
pick
me hear it.
your nose and you can pick your friends, but you cannot pick your friend's nose.
That's facts.
Word
That's
of
facts.
wisdom right there.
I've learned I learned that a long time ago too. I love it. Well,
Okay,
Stan,
man.
Alexa, I really appreciate y'all being on, and sorry it took so long to get y'all on here. I was going through a little thing for a while, not wanting to really do much, but I really appreciate y'all being on. Definitely have to do it again. I need more
Okay.
stories. They're so good.
Cool.
Such good
Okay,
stories.
man. Everybody have a good week coming up. Be safe. Be good. Be who.
You needed.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love that. Thank you,
All
Stan.
right.
Thank you, Alexa.
Bye-bye.
Everybody, you have a good night, and I'll see y'all next week on the
All
next
right.
one.
Bye bye.
See ya.